Welcome to Major Mesopotamia News. I'm James Cash, your anchorman, and this is Robbie West, my co-anchorman.
How's everyone doing?
We'll be talking about the new disease that has just come out in Mesopotamia. It's not new, but
Okay, well, anyway, so in those days, in the long time ago days, 5,000 to 1595 BCE, they had herbal medicine, which was where you took the herbs, applied it to the body, either ingesting, heating, or some other method of something. But either way, it came out one way or another, didn't it?
smooth.
Yes, smooth, yes. So in other news, we're going to be having our next story here in just a few seconds.
I think I got the plague.
Hey now, no, stay away from me. I don't want your sickness.
Welcome back to Ancient Mesopotamian News. My name is Dylan Ramey, and I'm going to hand it over to my co-anchor, Logan Black, who's going to talk to you about religion.
Hello, my name is Logan Black, and I'm going to talk to you about the religion in Mesopotamia. The religion in Mesopotamia is a polytheistic religion. Now, this means it consists of multiple gods. If you didn't know that, you're probably not smart enough to be in this class.
So go see Coach Horn for one of those little slips, he was handing out at the beginning of the class. Yeah, you know your item. You know you did. You know it. Because I did. A little bit. Just a little.
Yeah. And anyway, they worship over 2,100 gods. There's no way I could keep track of that, but who cares? Alright, what they believed was that the gods were here the entire time and they worked the earth. And they got tired of everything that they were doing. So they went to ask their main god, his name was Enki, if he would make them servants to help them out in their fields. Well, what he did was he extracted clay from the side of a riverbed, formed it into the shape of what we call humans, and breathed life into these humans. Now, all these humans did were work the fields and do everything that the gods did so that the gods could have more leisure time.
Hoe them fields, boy.
And thus the humans were born.
Hello, my name is Logan, and it is 3:30 in the morning, and sleep deprivation is a... Mike is going to be talking to us today about the migration aspect of Mesopotamia. Why don't you take it away, Micah?
The people in Mesopotamia were migrating a lot because they're lazy, couldn't deal with the cold. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Look, you got the people, and they're like, "Holy, it's cold outside, I'm gonna move." And then you have the people, and they're like, "Holy, it's hot outside, I'm gonna move." So they moved because of climate. They moved because of water supply. Holy, we're out of water. What are we supposed to do now? And then there was war. It was like, holy, let's go kill these. So they went and killed them, and they were like, all right, so we're just gonna put our lazy here and pray to God that people don't come and kill us here.
Hello, my name is Anchorman Logan Black, and I am here with my co-anchorman, Dylan Ramey. He is going to be talking to you today about the sciences and technologies that are in ancient Mesopotamia. Go over to you, Dylan.
Over here in Mesopotamia, the Sumerians founded the first written language, they called it cuneiform.
Uniform.
Over there, they liked circles and triangles, which would probably explain why they found the first wheel here. Anyways, they liked math pretty much. Geometry and stuff that has to do with numbers. They founded the Pythagorean theorem here. That thing, where we've heard so much bull about it in math class that it just kind of gets old. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, one of these walls of Babylon was one of the 7 ancient wonders.
Welcome to Ancient Mesopotamian News. Today we're going to be talking about the gender roles and how they played a part in that environment. Take it away.
So, as Sumerian, or under Sumerian rule, they could own property, which, in my opinion, the property they owned was probably pots and pans for the kitchen. And, you know, they could be priestesses, which are a position of rule, right? Okay, that's what I thought.
That's correct.
Under Babylonians, they were property by Hammurabi's law, which means if they didn't do something right, the men could throw the women in the river.
Babe, go do the dishes.
You're really feeling up to it.
Well, you know what? I don't care. Go do the dishes. Hello, and welcome to Ancient Mesopotamian News. I am Micah Pate here with my co-anchorman, Logan Black. And Logan will be speaking to us today about the social classes of ancient Mesopotamia. Take it away, Logan.
Sure thing, Micah. For one, I don't have a British accent, so I'm going to talk like an American. Okay, for one, the highest social class were the priests. They were said to be close to God, so to speak, or gods, whoever out there is not a Christian. Lower down from that were the upper class. They were the rich folks, so to speak, who had everything nice, jewelry, finer attire. And then under that, there were the lower class. They were your average Joes, the ones who ran the shops, owned the businesses. And the people who owned the businesses had this next class down, the slaves. They did everything, anything for money.
This would be the kind of house an aristocrat lives in. Big and furnished. Farmer's house, not as good as the aristocrat's house. The craftsman and artificer's house, definitely not as good as the aristocrat's house. The merchant's house, practically nothing. Hello and welcome to Ancient Mesopotamian News. I'm your anchorman, Micah Pate, here with my co-anchorman, Robbie West, who will be talking to you today about ancient Mesopotamia. What aspect? Robbie will tell you that.
Okay, we're going to be talking about the trade and commerce between ancient Mesopotamia and their countries. So what they did was they traveled by land and by water. And land, they traveled over their land. And water, they used their ships to go across the seas and trade with other countries. And back then, there was no recorded evidence or anything that they had a money currency, so they used their food as currency. And that is all in the trade and commerce area.
I got the hoe! Hoe stole my hoe!
My name is James Cash, and welcome to Ancient Mesopotamia News. I'm here with co-anchorman Micah Pate, and today we'll be talking to you about the laws and government of ancient Mesopotamia.
The oldest laws recorded were by one of the kings of ancient Mesopotamia. His name was Hammurabi, and he first wrote the oldest laws recorded on a stone tablet, which was about 7.5 feet tall. And this tablet of laws is believed to be given to Hammurabi from the gods.
Not the hammer of Robbie.
Hammering Robbie. Hammurabi, the man who made the code of law.
Court adjourned.
Welcome back. We've switched over to China now, so welcome to Ancient China News. I'm going to switch it over to Micah Pate, who's going to tell you about gender roles in China.
China was a very sexist country. According to studies, the women were the weaker and more submissive sex, while men were the more dominant sex, if you know where I'm going with this. Men dominated the country. Women had no say-so in anything. Well, there was that one thing, but, you know, we don't need to talk about that in school.
Marriages were arranged instead of, you know, how it is now. You know, you find somebody, you love them, you marry them. Well, back then, their person to marry was chosen for them.
That must have sucked.
And you weren't supposed to remarry either.
That must have really sucked. Could you imagine? I mean, what if this girl was like really stinking ugly, and you were like forced to marry her? It would suck. Would it not?
Have to go to Walmart with her.
Exactly.
Everybody in the world will see you.
Exactly.
That
They'd be
ain't
like,
good.
they'd be like, oh, look at him. He's going out with that ugly.
Pause.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to Ancient China News. I am your anchorman, Mike Bate, here with my co-anchorman, Logan Black.
How you doing?
Logan will be talking about the social classes in ancient China.
Alrighty. Well, the social classes in China consist of 4 groups. The highest being the Shi, which is the gentry scholars. Basically, all this group consisted of were the aristocrats, and aristocrats are people that are basically
They had it all.
Exactly. Next down are the Nong. The Nong are the peasant farmers. If you don't know what a peasant farmer is, go look it up on Google. The Gongs. The Gongs are like the artificers and the craftsmen. They crafted useful objects, but other than that, they had really no significance in life. And there was the Shang. They were the merchants and the traders. They were thought of as basically nothing, almost as close to women, which to them is pretty depressing. That'll be all. Hello, my name is Logan Black, and I'm here with my co-anchorman, Robbie West.
How you doing?
Today, Robbie is going to be talking to you about the government aspect of ancient China. Why don't you take it away, Robbie?
Okay, Logan, thanks. Okay, in ancient China, they had emperors, as you may know, but it was based on a Confucian model, which was kind of like the best ruler was the most virtuous man, and who led by the example. And so they picked the most virtuous man, and then after that, he, I guess, went through a series of tests, kind of, and he became emperor. And that is the government of ancient China.
Oh, hail the Emperor! What a douche.
Hello, welcome to Ancient China News, and I'm my co-anchor Logan Black now. Is going to be talking to you about the disease in ancient China. Take it over.
Hello, my name is Logan Black. I'll be talking to you about diseases. Not STDs or anything like that, just straight up killing people kind of stuff. Well, they basically had about 3 main diseases. There was malaria, and they had smallpox, and they had the plague. And that's about it for diseases.
Hello, welcome to Ancient China News. My name is Robbie West, and my co-anchorman here, Micah Pate, will now talk to you about the first people in China.
The first people in China were believed to have come from Africa. You know, Africa is the big continent that's right beside Asia and all that. So, you know, they just walked across and there they were. How long it took them to get there? Probably a really long time. So you gotta think that a whole bunch of people died from going from Africa all the way to China.
Get out of here! There's no migration in China!
Hello, welcome to Ancient Chinese News. And today, Micah Pate will be talking to you about the culture in ancient China. Take it away, Micah.
The ancient Chinese had 3 major religions: Confucianism, legalism, and Taoism. Confucianism was developed from the teachings of Confucius, who lived from 551 to 478 BCE. The Confucians believed in education, self-regulation, righteousness, and loyalty to the state. Legalism started in the Qin and early Han periods. They had a strict system of obedience to government and law, and the human's responsibility was to work for the government. Taoism was founded by Lao Tzu in the 5th century BCE. It was a more spiritual philosophy than Confucianism. It promoted humility, frugal living, and simplicity. They had harmony with nature. And many emperors of ancient China favored Taoism.
Back to Ancient Chinese News. My name is Dylan Ramey. I'm going to hand it over to Logan Black, who's going to talk to you about science and technology of ancient China.
Hello. Well, the thing about science and technology in ancient China is that they really had 4 big things that I believe that they were known for.
one of them being gunpowder, which really helped during warfare and also in fireworks, if you're interested in that kind of thing. They also made porcelain for, like, fine china. Well, obviously made in China. Like everything's made in China. Basically. They were accredited for having one of the best writing systems in this time era. They had, like, the most organized writing system, like, since the beginning of time, basically. They also made the compass, which helped them in navigation.
Gunpowder, which was made by the Chinese.
Welcome back to Ancient Chinese News. This is our last video, and I know you're probably sitting there in your desk thinking, thank God this is the worst project I've ever seen, but you know what? I don't care. We spent a long time on this. It's almost 7 in the morning. It's actually 6:45 in the morning on Labor Day. It's too early to be up. Actually, I'd be up if I was going to school, but I ain't. Because I'm doing this frickin' project. But anyways,
Okay,
this concludes our project, and Robbie's going to tell you the last details.
Okay, everybody. Our last topic is about the trade and commerce in ancient China. And what they did, they traded resources. And they are the first known to use coins as their money.
And also, you know, with their resources they had, they could trade with other people.
Such as
And
gunpowder.
yeah.
And all
Because
those
other
resources.
people had other things they didn't. So they could trade in between and have things they couldn't have unless they would trade their stuff for it. So it worked out pretty good.
I got these coin monies.
Oh yeah, I heard that was the new stuff around.
Yeah.
Alright.
Guess what?
We lied.
The last video was not the last video.
This one's gonna be the last video.
On facts, at least.
Yeah. But what we're gonna do now is we're going to take two themes for our two civilizations and we're going to compare them. We're going to take the social theme and the cultural theme. Dylan, why don't you tell me a little bit about the social theme for China?
Alright, well, the gender roles in China were that the women there were treated poorly.
Oh yes, I do believe that is very true, don't you, Dylan?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same in Mesopotamia.
Yeah, it is. Where women in Mesopotamia, they did start high, but eventually over time, as they were ruled by different empires, they were eventually down to just basically like baby makers, and that's all they were looked upon in society as.
Basically.
What else you got for social, Dylan?
We got social classes, and they were sort of a caste system.
Yes, I believe you could say they're a bit of a caste system because people that were like basically closer to God, I mean it's like this in Mesopotamia too. People that were closer to God are higher up on the chain, and everybody down below it are just a little bit, they just have little bit differences.
Right.
So what do you got on cultural for China, Dylan?
Alright, well, we got the religion, Confucianism, legalism, and Taoism.
Oh, okay. And well, I understand that's kind of just like the beliefs of basing off what people really thought about, but now this is where there is a difference. In Mesopotamia, they believed that there were many gods and that the humans were created by these gods out of clay. I have no idea why they came up with that, but they were made out of clay. So, I mean, seems legit.
Right.
What you got for the science and technology?
Well, we got gunpowder, porcelain, the compass, and the first written language, I guess you could say. I mean, that's when they could first start documenting stuff.
Yeah, it is one of the, well, it's not quite the first time, but it is whenever it really started booming.
Right.
See, like the first writing is back in Mesopotamia when the Sumerians wrote their first writing called cuneiform, which they used to make Hammurabi's code of law. And a couple of other little things, like the first wheel was found there, and they are really accredited with like doing a lot of stuff with math, like the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We all learned that in math class a couple years ago.
Right.
And so, really, those are our two themes that we're going to be comparing today. And so far, I believe that they are same in most regards.
Welcome back to Ancient Mesopotamian News. My name is Dylan Ramey, and I'm going to hand it over to my co-anchor, Logan Black, who is going to talk to you about religion.
Hello, my name is Logan Black. The religion in Mesopotamia. Dang it! Gods. In fact, they worship over 2,100. What's wrong with your face, man?
Nothing. I'm just
It's called a
listening.
polytheistic religion. Now, if you don't know what that means, then you're probably not smart enough to be in this class.
So you should probably go
You made
yeah, basically. Anyways,
Giza.
that A squared.
No. Now you're freaking dead.
Now it's up there.
I will freaking. Take that freaking thing. Yes, like that. Instead of up there, like freaking there.
They were submissive, while men were the more dominant sex. If you know what I mean. Well, Logan will tell you. Go ahead, Logan. Thank you, Pete.
I'm Robbie West, Chinese Ancient News. Congressman here, Michael Pate, will now talk to you about the ancient culture of China. Go ahead, Mike.
Hello, this is Michael Pate for the Ancient Chinese News. It is at this very moment 6:21 in the morning on this beautiful Monday, September 2nd, 2013. The ancient Chinese had three major religions.
Shut up!